Something is coming. Something even they're afraid of.
Monsterverse just dropped its most awaited edition of the season, and the kaiju content in it is bound to drop your jaws. From the visuals, the CGI, the fight scenes, everything is what the world has been craving for. Less human drama, more Titan brawl. The film is mostly Kong and Godzilla's rodeo with a special appearance from our Queen Mothra, but the kaiju who really caught my eye is Shimo. After watching the film, it's safe to say that Shimo is the Ice Queen of the Monsterverse, given her ability to tower over the King of Monsters himself. Poor girl has so much potential in her, but was only being held back as a pawn in Scar King's elaborate schemes. Most importantly, Scar King wouldn't be able to antagonize anyone if he couldn't manage to enslave Shimo into doing his bidding. But now that she's free from his clutches, her future in the Monsterverse seems bright as ever. If you thought the Frostbite from Monarch Legacy of Monsters was the Ice Titan with ultimate domination over the frozen world, wait till you understand how Shimo can chow him down as a snack. Anyways, without wasting another moment, let's discuss the anatomical prowess of this original Monsterverse kaiju. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Something is coming. Something even they're afraid of.
Who is Shimo? Shimo is a gigantic ice titan who even towers over Godzilla's evolved pink-forming Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire. As an ancient reptilian kaiju, Shimo may have played a significant role in triggering Earth's first ice age, known as the Huronian glaciation. This event occurred between 2400 and 2100 million years ago, spanning about 300 million years and holding the record as the longest ice age in history. Considering this time frame, it could offer an estimate of Shimo's age, but sadly the film didn't address any of these details. Apart from being one of the oldest titans in the Monsterverse, at this point Shimo is also the largest one amongst all in the kaiju world, surpassing even Ghidorah in height by 3.65 meters. Given that she's quadrupedal, Shimo stands 415 feet tall when she's on all fours and a whopping 560 feet tall when she's supporting herself on her 2 feet. Right from her colossal head to her massive tail, the Ice Queen is also 950 feet long. Her size is so magnificent that even Kong was left in awe and managed to appreciate it after first seeing her. I personally think she's the most devastatingly beautiful kaiju seen in Monsterverse yet, with her lavender white skin, glowing blue eyes, and a crest embellished with duochrome purple-blue spikes. Like Godzilla, Shimo flaunts a sapid structure covered in dense white reptilian scutes. Shimo's alluring spikes almost resemble snow crystals and run down her head to her back, ending with her super thick and long tail that also has 4 differently sized thagomizers at its end. Lastly, even Shimo's roar is as dominating as Godzilla and can be differentiated from her flinches of pain during the moments when Scar uses the crystal to make her suffer.
For most of human civilization,
What is the Ice Titan like? Shimo is first seen in the film when Kong challenges Scar King inside the fiery lava cave of the Hollow Earth. At first, Kong was beating Scar to the pulp, which is why the villain brought out the big guns and thus we get a first look of Shimo's glowing blue eyes in the darkness of the cave. Scar King is on a power trip throughout the entire film and uses a crystal hanging at the end of his bandolier of bones to control Shimo to fight his wars. The ancient Ice Titan is kept in chains and is reduced to being treated as Scar King's pet slave. But even then, Shimo is predominantly portrayed as a gentle and benevolent titan throughout Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire, who initially refrains from attacking Kong in the beginning, but eventually is forced to do so when Scar King inflicts unimaginable pain on her under his crystal's control. This control is further evident in Shimo's struggle against the vertebrae chains that bound her, displaying both anger and resistance to Scar's unjust agendas. But despite her attempts to resist the malicious Red Ape's commands, the influence of that small piece of crystal, as noted by Dr. Andrews, likely contributed to her compliance. In combat, however, Shimo exhibits the aggressiveness of a true titan, highlighting her dangerous nature in the battle she fought inside the Hollow Earth and Rio de Janeiro against Kong and Godzilla. Her real nature comes to light after Zuko destroys Scar King's control crystal, releasing Shimo from centuries-old slavery. This is when the tide of the fight turns, because Shimo reverts to unleash her Frost Blast on Scar King, and for obvious reasons, freezing him to the core. After the War of the Titans comes to a staggering end, Shimo finally takes back her autonomy, allowing her to reveal her true, pacific nature, which really seems to be very warm and cuddly, even if she is an Ice Titan. Shimo's lethal Frostbite Blast. You know how if you have a magnum opus, you can milk it your entire life, without having the need to come up with any other fancy thing. Well, that's what the Frostbite blast is like in Shimo's arsenal of powers. Firstly, this Titan can freeze literally anything. Unlike the Frostbark Titan that sucked out moisture from its victims in order to freeze them, Shimo's sole existence can freeze the very ground she walks on. Her concentrated icy beam generates a massive neon blue ice blast that forms gigantic ice spikes and chunks upon impact. So, naturally, if it hits a living target, they face a fatal end. We first see the lethality of a Frostbite blast during Shimo's fight with Godzilla inside Hollow Earth. After Scar's ape stops the flow of the lava river, the icy Titan comes out, freezing the grounds and even turning the lava into ice. This is also the first time we notice how Shimo is being restrained by chains crafted from vertebrae that are fastened around her neck and front legs. Even if she tries to restrain, Scar King uses the crystal to his benefit. Shimo, visibly affected by daze and pain, succumbs to Scar's control as his crystal gleams. With no alternative, she unleashes a concentrated beam of freezing ice from her mouth at Kong's direction, who barely manages to evade the powerful attack. Using her Frostbite breath, she starts shooting ice in multiple directions while Kong holds on for dear life. Although he manages to get past most of it, one of the concentrated frosty ice beams gets to him. Kong tries to use his battle axe to stop the blast from freezing him, but unfortunately, Shimo's intensely cold lightning bolt causes Kong's right forearm to completely freeze, forcing him to relinquish the axe. Just as Shimo prepares to resume her assault with the aim to completely freeze Kong, Zuko redirects Kong's attention to an escape route, allowing him to capitalize on the opportunity and flee. Shimo's Frostbite blast significantly damaged Kong's arm, given that he suffered massive nerve damage and significant tissue loss from being frozen. Another show of Shimo's frost breath is seen when the Ice Titan is forced by the Scar King to accompany him to the Iwi tribe's hideout and use her frost breath to freeze the Iwi crystal pyramids in order to stop them from colliding and causing a shift in the cave's gravitational pull. But the Iwi simply don't wait up as passive bystanders. Instead, they use their technology to activate a device within their hideaway. This device merges the crystal pyramids at the heart of the sanctuary, utilizing ancient Iwi technology to reverse the cave's gravity. Meanwhile, when Kong and Mothra come back with Godzilla to Hollow Earth, all the Titans engage in a 2-on-2 battle. This is when we see Shimo first fight Godzilla, using a Frostbite blast to counter Godzilla's atomic blast. And mind you, she's fighting a fully pumped and evolved Godzilla who's filled to the brim with radiation, but yet giving the King of Monsters a run for his money. Anyways, soon, the previously frozen pyramids collide, creating zero gravity in the Hollow Earth, thanks to the Iwi technology. This unexpected shift causes the Titans to float and fight in a weightless environment. Even while floating, Shimo manages to successfully freeze Godzilla with a Frostbite blast. However, Queen Mothra intervenes in the battle, attacking Shimo and freeing Godzilla from the ice. Within the next few seconds, as gravity returns to normal, all the Titans are brought back to the ground. But Scar wastes no time fighting useless battles as he has his eye set on the main prize. Noticing the Iwi portals leading to the surface world, he picks a random one and leaves with a controlled Shimo to achieve his ultimate agenda of dominating Earth. As Kong, Godzilla and Zuko follow them to the Earth's surface, Scar and Shimo land on a beach in Rio de Janeiro, sending the naive humans in obvious panic mode by disrupting the pleasant sunny day they were enjoying. Shimo even freezes the beach with her presence, and upon Scar King's command, she blasts her concentrated frost breath into the Earth's sky, creating a freezing storm and then directing it towards buildings along the coast. Within mere moments, Brazil is plunged into an abrupt and harsh winter, giving us a fair idea of how, if Shimo wanted to, she could freeze the entire world. After Kong and Godzilla arrive in Brazil, the ultimate battle between the four Titans commences, allowing Shimo to take on Godzilla while Kong fights Scar King. Godzilla tries his best to use everything at his disposal to subdue Shimo and knock some sense into her, but sadly Shimo is just a puppet with Scar King pulling the strings. Midway through the fight, Godzilla and Kong were literally struggling to stop Shimo, who kept shooting her Frostbite blast to use it as a shield against every offensive attack, thus dominating the fight. The fight didn't neutralize until Zuko showed up, smashing Scar's control crystals into a million pieces, freeing Shimo. This is when the Ice Titan channeled all her rage to turn and blast her last Frostbite breath right at Scar King, turning the Red Ape into a Scar-sickle, followed by Kong smashing his ass into 1,000 frozen chunks. What are the other abilities in Shimo's arsenal of powers? As mentioned before, Shimo is a gigantic titan who even surpasses Godzilla in size. She's substantially larger than him, if not twice his size. Plus, even if Godzilla's pink form is immune to her icy breath, Shimo can still use her body weight to slam dunk a titan in combat, like we've seen her do with Kong and Godzilla countless times in the film. Shimo has picked up Kong and thrown him across the sky, smashing buildings like cake. Not just that, she's also grazed Godzilla to the ground with her body weight. So there's no doubt that Shimo is being proclaimed as one of the strongest titans ever seen. If she were to go on a rampage ending with a full-blown clash with Godzilla, I think the G-Man would have to absorb twice more the amount of radiation in order to successfully take down the Ice Queen. Apart from this, she's been seen utilizing her long tail as a powerful whip to eviscerate anything on her path. Not to forget, she's also used the Thagomizers on her tail to whip Kong's ass to send him flying through the air and crashing into a building. Lastly, when both Godzilla and Kong launched a dual attack on her, Shimo was seen using her strength to toss Godzilla aside and use her crazy sharp teeth to grab Kong's beast glove in order to deliver some significant damage in Kong's already bruised forearm. With her dictator dead and a new empire in the vicinity, Shimo's future in Monsterverse is brighter than ever. At the end of the film, Shimo was seen to be returning back to the Hollow Earth with Kong and Suko consensually riding on her back. It seems she'll continue her own peaceful life down there with other kaijus, while aiding Kong in undoing the damage Scar King had left behind. What do you think of this new icy kaiju? Let us know in the comment box below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.